What's going on, everybody? This is the Ball Up Top Podcast YouTube show. I'm your host, Mike. Right now, we're going on to our next installment of the Kevin Durant Sweepstakes. This time, we're going to cover the Miami Heat. For those of you who's the first time listening to this, basically what we're doing is we're going through all 30 teams and seeing what would be the deal that could be struck to get Kevin Durant. Now, part of the reason for this is because I'm of the belief that when one of the best players in the league who has 4 years left on his deal says he wants to be traded, which means he really doesn't have much leverage as to where he goes, that as a guy running an NBA franchise, any one of them has to kind of kick the tires on this deal and see where it goes. So, like I said earlier, our this episode is about the Miami Heat, which is actually one of his preferred destinations. We're going to use the fanspo.com trade machine. It's probably one of the best trade machines I've seen. I mean, it really allows you to do a lot. We're going to probably play around with it a little more with some other stuff later. But as it pertains to adding draft picks, trade exceptions, signing free agents, it gives you a lot of room to play around with stuff. So, and the deal we're going to play around with is Kevin Durant to the Miami Heat. So first, we're going to go ahead and put Durant on over here. Now, Durant came out and said that he would want to keep Bam, Jimmy, and Lowry. Now, the thing is Kevin Durant's salary is 44 million, and the Heat don't have any cap space. So if you look, Duncan Robinson, Caleb Martin, Tyler Hero, Dwayne Dedman, none of these guys, you can add the whole rest of the roster up together, and none of them are going to reach 44 million. So as much as that's what Durant wants, for this scenario, it doesn't happen. So now we're gonna obviously they're not gonna want to trade Jimmy Butler because they're gonna want Jimmy Butler to be his second fiddle. If they trade Bam, who had the designated rookie extension of 5 years, then that means they're also got to take on Ben Simmons because the Brooklyn Nets can't have two players on that contract unless it's a homegrown player. Um, so that pretty much leaves Kyle Lowry. He's pretty much the guy that ends up having to go to the Nets to cover the bulk of Durant's contract. So now that we're doing now that we have established that okay, so Durant can have Butler and Bam, but he can't have Lowry. We go down here. If I'm Miami, I really kind of feel like they have to throw Duncan Robinson in there also. Like Duncan brings the contracts close. And Brooklyn has asked for an all-star player. Well, this allegedly had asked for an all-star player, a a young potential player, a star, and draft picks. So Lowry's been an all-star multiple times. Duncan Robinson, though he's got 3 years, is a tradable asset for them, and he's being brought on to just so we can try to get salaries close. But Brooklyn's probably going to take a hard line on Tyler Hero. And I don't know if Miami might take a hard line on him too, but I feel like this deal does not happen without Tyler Hero. Right now, incoming of 44, outgoing of 50. So the Brooklyn Nets are actually bringing in more salary, which they really probably don't want to do, but this here has them within the framework of money. Tyler Hero, they're going to be happy to have. They'll probably try to build around that. Duncan Robinson, his contract's not horrible. Considering how he played in the last year, though, it could be better. Kyle Lowry is a vet. he's only got 2 years left on his deal, which means the next season would be expiring. As for draft picks, so Miami would probably get away with trading the 23 pick, which Brooklyn's definitely going to want because, for all accounts, the 23 draft is supposed to be one of the stronger drafts we've had in the last few years. The stipend rule prevents the 24, but they'd probably do a swap with the 24. Um, then they got the 25's already gone. I don't. Hold on. Let's go ahead and pull up Brooklyn's draft picks. So Brooklyn doesn't even have a 24. So there's no swap at the 24. So 25 is gone for the Heat. 26 is like it's almost like they're off on years. So the next available pick that I think would probably be 27th first. It's a 2027 first round pick. Trade to the Nets, and then they probably swap the 28 and trade the 29. Now, Pat Riley's always been never had a problem with trading draft picks, so that part I'm not really worried about. You look at the deal, three first, probably swapping a couple. Tyler Hero. I don't know if it's a fair deal. I know it's a good deal. I know it's a doable deal, but I don't know if it's a fair deal. So let's go ahead and see if this works out. And it's successful. Um, this will keep the Nets competitive. If you listen to the other shows, like I tell, like it's important that Brooklyn stays competitive because Houston has the rights either to swap or has a lot of the Nets' future first rounders. So they're not trying to tank. They get nothing from tanking. Absolutely nothing. So they want to be competitive. But they want to bring in young guys also, like a Tyler Hero, to work on their game so that they can grow. But this is probably the fairest deal the two of them will get. Um, but like I said, going back to the very beginning, Durant said he wanted Lowry, Bam, and Jimmy, and that's just financially just won't happen. It just won't happen. So that's all we have for this episode. Remember to check out our our Instagram page at Ball Up Top Podcast, our Twitter page at Ball Up Top Pod. Remember to like, subscribe, follow, comment. We love interacting with you guys, and we love hearing your opinions. So until next time, this is Mike. Hope you guys have a good. Excuse me, I got something in my throat today. But until next time, this is Mike. Have a nice night.